All right, the webinar has started. Hubert Lee, it is summertime and the living is easy.
We have our
Please.
polo shirts on. We have our polo shirts on, but you know what, Rich? We're doing Christmas in July. We're getting ready. You're wearing the red and I'm wearing the green.
There you go, baby. It's all good. It's always Christmas if you're in a good space.
Right.
So
That's exactly right.
I'm excited to dive in here. We got Dr. Art still working on his stuff. We're going to pull him up here and get to work on that stuff. That's complicated, man, what he's looking for.
Well, that's good. That means
That's
we can help. That means we can help.
That's exactly right. So we'll be doing that here momentarily. And I know you got a little bit of, you had a fantastic SEO day last week and got some SEO updates for us.
Yeah, so we had an awesome time without you. As a matter of fact, people by the end of the call, they couldn't recall who that originally guy was.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't need no originally. Okay, so folks, Andrew, our SEO expert, had started breaking down um, the lessons learned from that Google data leak that occurred. So as you recall, he was saying how some important documents from Google, specifically about their internal Google ranking algorithm secrets, they were inadvertently put into a GitHub repository and it got released accidentally, and of course the whole world jumped on it. So I want to share with you in the link. Just click this for later. In the link in the chat, I'm going to send this to everyone. You can just click it and open it, and this is a very easy to digest, regular English type of article about the ranking factors that were revealed. And I liked it because originally liked it too, because it kind of drew the comparison, the through line between what we thought we should do and what's now confirmed that we should do. And the good news is that the best practices are the best practices, and Ridgely said to us, hey, it's a good thing, it's awesome. We're being validated by Google. And I said, well, we better be. I mean, we're professing to be doing the right things. So I just wanted to share that document. And Ridgely, you can see it in the link. So in the chat, so everybody should click on the link and consume it later.
Yeah, it's a little long, guys, but I like the way that it's broken down in a format that says, hey, this is the thing that you want to be doing, and tip for optimization, tip for optimization, tip for optimization. So it gives you a very clear step by step of what you can do. That's you, as in all of us on this call or anyone catching the recording, things that we can do. Doesn't mean you have to do every single thing they recommend. Some of it is a little technical, but a lot of it is not. And at the end of the day, what we've been saying for years and years continues to be the case. Content is king. When it
Yes,
comes to
for
search
sure.
engine rankings, there is just no doubt that Google is going to reward content. So,
Yeah, and the main takeaway for everybody, you saw, and if I see many of the people that are on today's call were not on that SEO call. It's definitely worth watching the replay. You can find that in your online portal. But let me just give you the quick summary of it. If you don't have a blog section on your website, please start a blog section. Okay. And if you do have a blog section, please start posting on a regular basis. Get that content out there. It's the easiest way to create what's called topical authority. That was the main takeaway from Andrew last time. You want to come across through your content to be an absolute expert in your area. And the best way to do that is to do helpful content via your blog. And as a matter of fact, let me share my screen. And blogging is one of my original passions, and so I do a lot of kind of state of the art type of stuff. So Ridgely and I have a project where we're helping an online baccarat project, and we're doing some blog posting. But rather than just go into ChatGPT and say, "Hey, give me blog posts about baccarat," right? I had asked it to do certain things, and then I said this: rewrite and make the posts longer and more detailed. Provide helpful explanations and make the tone conversational. Also, provide suggestions for the blog title, slugs, category, and tags. Give me what I need to publish it to a WordPress blog. And then it goes and rewrites it. But look at the metadata that it gives you. Okay. It suggests a blog title. It suggests the slug, which is the URL that you can create. And again, my initial set of instructions was to make this say very effective for SEO, use keywords, for online baccarat and so forth. It tells you the categories, and these are all settings that you can set in WordPress as you go and publish it. So you click on categories and you create these categories. You click on tags when you post it and you put these tags on here. And then here's the blog post. And so it's the entire blog post. You just copy and paste that. And then this is the kind of prompting I always like. I always ask ChatGPT to tell me why it gave me what it gave me. So for each one, it says, something different. This post is detailed and covered the essential aspects of Baccarat, making it valuable for both beginners and experienced players. It targets high volume keywords like Baccarat guide, Baccarat rules, which can attract a broad audience searching for basic and advanced information. So folks, my lesson for you is when you ask ChatGPT to do something for you, also say include explanation for me as to why you provided what you provided. Okay, so first off, that's educational, and it lets you check in on if it's right or wrong.
Yeah, so let me also point out something, because I want to have Hubert, if you don't mind, have you give a basic explanation of a knowledge base and how to create it, right? Because I was doing a little bit of a demo this morning to show somebody. We went in and we created this knowledge base called Breakthrough Banking Formula Expert. That's a GPT, basically. And I wanted to show people how fast content gets created that gives you a foundation. So before I get into it, can you speak to the concept of the knowledge base and what you did here?
Yes, so basically, we're just saying knowledge base, but it's basically a custom GPT in which you put enough of your custom information so that it acts as a knowledge base. And what that means is when you click, if you have a ChatGPT Plus account, you click create custom GPT, and there's a wizard that walks you through what do you want it to do, blah, 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 whatever. There's a section where you can say, excuse me, upload my documents. You can upload a Word doc, a PDF, whatever. You can also point it to URLs. The idea is to take your proprietary knowledge, okay, your SOP documents or your website or whatever, and you upload it into your custom GPT. And then on top of that, you tell it what to do, with the best prompting and all of that. And you can use Ridgely's, prompt creator to help you with that. And the resulting output is a custom GPT that acts as an expert based on the material that you had it trained on. Okay. So in this particular case, our client has a book called the Breakthrough Banking Formula. So we uploaded the book, we uploaded some internal documents, we uploaded some first drafts, we uploaded the website, we uploaded a bunch of stuff that then acts as an expert of the topic of the book. Now, the value of this is that if you're a banker and you buy this book and you read it, okay, cool. You might say, oh, I wish I could ask the author what she thinks about my situation. Well, with this custom GPT, you actually can, because we've tested it and everything else. It uses what it knows of the methodology in the proprietary information, but then it also goes out and does what it does best with the large language model. And you can ask it, for my bank, XYZ Bank, what KPIs should I be focusing on? And it will give you some pretty good coaching advice based on the knowledge base that you trained it on. So that's an exciting concept to kind of combine, the best of your proprietary information and what's out there. Now, of course, if this is proprietary and it should not be out there on the web, even though the terms of service says, hey, don't worry, it's protected. Well, accidents happen. That's exactly what happened with the Google leak. And, if it can happen to Google, it can happen to you. So if you have like super secret type of stuff, don't even think about this.
And really important to pay attention to the fact that the data that is going to be gathered through a GPT, or some people use the term an agent online, needs to be vetted heavily. Because, for example, this says date September 14 to 16, 2024, Chicago, Illinois. Well, actually, it's September 10 and 11 in Atlanta, Georgia. So somehow that information is not right. But you can see it gives me, and because the knowledge base was already created, I didn't have to go into a lengthy thing here. Write me a LinkedIn post to promote the Best Bank Super Conference. Boom, there I got something to work with. Is this good enough? No way. I've got to start doing the work. But for something that came out in 10 seconds, then I went on and say, okay, great. Give me a long form direct mail piece promoting the event. And then look at this. Really nice, all about what it's going to be about, etc. Do I think this is good enough? No, way too canned, way too whatever. But it's certainly nice to have something that I can now grab, pop into a Google Doc, begin to play with, or I can play with it more here before I take it over to a Google Doc. At no point do you want to think, oh, okay, just because it came out of AI, it is now final content and good enough for everybody. Yes?
Yes, I agree. But also, it doesn't act any different than how you interact with ChatGPT. So if you want good output, you have to put good input in there. And so what you can do is combo it, like Dr. Jean's asking, Hubert, doesn't it mean that it only uses that knowledge that you uploaded to pull from answers? The answer is no, because like, let me actually demonstrate. Let me look at my most recent thingy and see if I can kind of prove the point here. Let's take a look. Okay, so, all right. So going back to my screen, okay, so if you look at this chat right here, okay, it's using a VoxScript custom GPT. VoxScript is a company that it used to, back when we were doing plugins, it was the plugin that let you consume a YouTube video. Okay, the problem with using the ChatGPT 4.0 choice is that, you know, in a sense, it kind of went backwards, because if you point it to a YouTube URL, it no longer consumes it. Okay, so I don't know what's going on. I don't like that or whatever. So anyway, I go and I use this VoxScript one. VoxScript is a service that allows you to consume a YouTube. Okay, but this is how I formulated this, and you'll see that it can then do all kinds of stuff outside the domain of just reading the YouTube video. Based on the video at such and such, how to play Baccarat. Please create a blog post for me. Make the post helpful, keep the language simple and the style straightforward, avoid flowery language and complicated grammar. Add a note to me where you summarize why you took the approach you did and why that blog post should help with attracting traffic to the website. In the blog post, provide helpful explanations and make the tone conversational. Also provide suggestions for the blog title, slug, categories, and tags. Give me what I need to publish it to a WordPress blog. Okay, so I mean, one could rightly assume that VoxScript wrote their custom GPT based on consuming YouTube videos and not on, you know, how to write SEO optimized blog posts. But sure enough, it gives me a whole thing, tells me all the categories and tags again, and goes through the whole thing. Now I have a video, plus I have this blog post, plus it tells me, hey, I chose a straightforward approach to ensure that it's easy to read and understand, blah, 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 whatever. Help in traffic, detailed explanations, feel free to publish, blah, 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 whatever. So right there, this is a custom GPT, but it's
Yeah,
got
man,
all
you're going a little too fast, bro. People are trying to take all this in. You're going too fast.
Okay, I will speak slower.
No, but we just got to have a chance to take a look. So I chose a straightforward approach for this blog post to ensure that it's easy to read and understand. Simple language and clear instructions are intended to make the game accessible. In other words, in the note to the blog owner, it is responding directly to the instructions that you gave it, right? That's really important, because it says, you said, use simple language, not flowery, blah, blah, blah. So even in the note to you, it is reminding you that AI is doing what you told it to do, which I
Right.
think is really cool.
Right. Okay. So this is just a case in point where you can create custom chat GPTs and, work within it to get what you want. So my point in bringing that up is that, Ridgely said, well, it's a good starting point, but that's true whether it's a custom GPT or not, Ridgely. Like if you train it on its own, it still acts the same way. You still have to do your own prompt magic and you get out of it what you put in it.
Okay. All right. Any questions from anybody on all of that? I know it's a little technical, but hey,
Yeah.
we're
And what
good.
I'm working on now, by the way, is so I don't know if you guys know, but building these custom chat GPTs, you can share it with other people. But until very recently, the other person had to have a paid ChatGPT Plus account. Now they've relaxed it so that they can have the free account and still use it. But the number of people on Earth that have a ChatGPT account is way smaller than the number of people that don't. So what we're working on now is OpenAI has another API called Assistance API, which if you program against it correctly, you can then create a chat widget that you put on your regular website, and it just lives on your own website and provides the custom GPT functionality. So that's the one step beyond, meaning I take that very same breakthrough banking custom GPT that Ridgely showed. Right now, it's locked within the OpenAI environment. But if I want to release it and put it on a regular website so that the entire world can do it, you can do that using the Assistance API. And I am currently in the thick of like programming that and making sure that works as a proof of concept.
Yeah. So can you expand where your thoughts there briefly? Because I see a lot of our great friends on this call that are coaches or consultants or experts in the field. Does that mean that once you finish the working on this, that it would be good for a chat widget on a lawyer website, a chiropractor, a dentist, or all those kinds of things, or no?
Yes, for sure. And the power of the custom ChatGPT being trained on a document that you produce. If you are an expert and you've written a book, you take that book and you upload it, and then you create this custom GPT and you train it with your website and everything else, and you put it in there and you write on there, "Hey, ask me anything." Literally, let me just look at this who's on. Okay, Scott Brown. Okay, so he puts this on his website. He's got all of his knowledge base trained on, his, you know, entrepreneurship for women, all of that whole thing. That's his expertise. Ask me anything. Because I pointed it to his website and because we pointed it to his body of knowledge, it can range from mundane things such as, hey, how do I get in touch with you? Or, what are your parameters of working with you? Blah, blah, blah. Who do you serve? It'll spit all of that out. But then if you also ask it things like, why do women have trouble balancing their work life, blah, 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 whatever. It'll draw from Scott's expertise in that area if he trained it that way. And also the same chatbot will be able to act basically as a coach trained in Scott's, thinking and methodology. So it basically takes AI and combines it with the power of, chatting support chats on your website. And it's basically putting the power of AI right onto your own very website through the little chatbot. So gone are the days of these little dumb chatbots where, obviously there's fake stuff.
How technically, Bill Straubinger says, can I borrow your brain for a few hours to better understand all this?
Sure, of course.
So Federico's asking, how could you use this on a service provider's website? Can you share an example? So for example, let's just say Anthony Callison. Anthony Callison is a dentist who provides Invisalign. That's what he does. How
Yes.
could we use this for Anthony Callison?
Okay. So for example, Anthony Callison, I happen to know, has a website specific about Invisalign. Okay. He's a Texas-based dentist and he has a site about, providing Invisalign services in Texas. what we would do for him is we would create a custom chatbot and we would train it very carefully on a couple of things. This is what I personally would do, and this is just off the top of my head. I would go and find a highly reputable dental reference guide, like the American Dental Association, some of these unimpeachable top quality content websites. And I would say, hey, ChatGPT, reference your materials based on this URL. And I would give it the top level domain of American Dental Association, pediatric, whatever. I would also feed it Invisalign, right? And not only that, but I would feed it specifically sections of the Invisalign site for providers, okay? Then further, I would go ahead and feed it. He has yet another website that has all of his practice information and everything else. You can put up right now, you can load up to 20 documents into a custom ChatGPT, okay? You can put all kinds of stuff. I don't think he's written a book, but if he's written a book or whatever, anything that shows authority, right? You would load up into this custom GPT. And then you would install this thing. But more importantly, the call to action. Remember, Ridgely and I are always talking about the number one principle on your website is to have a guided user experience. You tell the people where to go and you tell the people what to do, right? So you make a big deal. Hey, brand new, first in first in a niche here. I've basically taken my own expertise, put it into an AI. It's available to you in the chat. Ask me anything, right? So originally, it's not enough to just enable this thing. You then have to get the mileage out of promoting the thing, right? And then you make this part of your newsletter. You go to town. You think of all your competitors that haven't done this, right? And because you have the knowledge of what you could use this for, and you've been part of this mastermind, and we've been going back and forth about it and whatever, and we trade ideas. Like, it's an easy way to kind of stay one step ahead of your competition. And if they start eventually doing it too, you're down the road doing the next, the latest and greatest iteration of it. Maybe you've got, like, Ridgely's always asking me, hey, how do we make it into an avatar type of thing so that the photo of the dentist is there talking to the person, leveraging this proprietary information. So anyway, very, very exciting. Let me just catch up on the notes here. Dr. Gene, I'm currently building chatbots, super helpful. That's great. Federico says there are elements of this that I would transfer to a live person to generate a sale, right? So I am working on the following as well. I'm trying to train the chatbots to provide the information and then always refer to a call to action, right? So I'm going to tell the ChatGPT, answer the questions, give helpful answers, but then also always reference to the fact that you can book a call with Ridgely, right? So I want the chatbot to be useful, but then always kind of end it by saying, hey, want to learn more? Book a call now with Ridgely. Now, how is that for a powerful, tool?
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Shall we bring in Brother Art here?
Oh, sure.
Let's do some stuff.
Dr. Art has taken the hot seat challenge.
You're doing a lot of work too, man.
That's awesome. I purposely did not look at it. One, because I'm lazy, but two, to keep myself fresh. Hey, Art, there you are.
How are you, my friend?
Great. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for playing along and taking the challenge.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit. And so just bring everybody up to speed, if you don't mind, Art, so what we're working on right now. Because I did look at it. I do know what we're doing, but everybody else doesn't.
Okay, I'm starting a new chapter in my life, a new venture. It's making safe products, teaching manufacturers how to make safe products, make the world a safer place, don't get sued, how to recognize potential defect causes and avoid them in the first place instead of dealing with them later. So in the end, manufacturers make safe and profitable products that we all enjoy instead of getting hurt by.
Okay.
So short and sweet.
Okay. And to that end, you have a URL that you've been able to find, makesafeproducts.com. Amazing. I can't believe that's available, by the way. That was really good, bro.
Oh, that's an awesome one.
But and then so in conjunction with that, and let me just share my screen because I do want to show a little bit of awesomeness here. Inbox, and here we go.
Oh my
Look
God.
at this.
Originally he's one of these zero inbox guys. Oh man.
Look at that. So he's also writing the book to go along with the URL. So take a look. Really
Nice.
rock solid. And look at that, such a provocative image. The
Yes.
chain with a paperclip being held together. Yeah, okay, that don't work. Really nice, by the way. When I saw that, I was like, that's really clever.
Avoid the
you
weak
have to,
link.
you have to use that same imagery and that color palette too on the website. That would be very compelling.
Yeah, and so I just wanted to point out to everybody, first of all, already I'm liking this, right? I'm liking we have limbic messages that so first of all, makesafeproducts.com available. Amazing. Then we have all of these limbic messages that Art has created. Fantastic. Then we have the book, same title as the website. Really good, very well thought through already. And then a bonus to go along with the purchase of the book, 99 plus factors that product liability attorneys can consider in determining whether to pursue, settle, or dispute a product liability claim. Copyrighted acclaim check of factors created by product liability personal injury attorneys sells for $4.97 as a bonus. Pretty
Awesome.
strong, Hubert.
Yeah, for sure. And then I think out of this you distill a and I want to talk for a second about lead magnets originally. Like Art's got so much awesomeness going on here. I think for people that need the nudge to kind of pursue things further, I think we can help them kind of come up with a cool little lead magnet. And for everybody, a lead magnet is like, hey, get this special report on X, Y, and Z, leave your name and email address here so that you can start building an email list. So originally, you and I have been talking about, lead magnets for years. But more recently, you and I have also been talking about how best to kind of get people interested in taking action. And a lead magnet has now come again to the top of our list.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So Art, where do you want to start? What are your needs at the moment?
Well, I'm pitching this to a new to me audience in that I've got past history with products liability attorneys. I'm abandoning that, moving on from that business, and I'm moving my expertise in product reliability and development and safety upstream from helping attorneys either pursue or avoid claims, defend against claims, upstream to manufacturers to try to teach them how to avoid all these claims in the first place. And I have no contacts among the manufacturers right now. I'm working on lead. I've got a zero list at this point that I'm working on, and I'm looking at ways to get in, and I'm looking at insurance companies who provide products liability coverage. Wouldn't they hopefully think that their clients could use this information and actually reduce the insurance company's risk? It help them in the risk assessment and pass this information on to their clients to avoid their risk. So it's win for the insurance company, win for the manufacturer, and hopefully win for me as well. I'm also looking at, since I have contacts among the defense attorneys, looking at them and saying, hey, who are your clients that you'd like to pass this information on to? And of course, in both of those, it's who can you recommend that I contact? I'm trying to create that list of manufacturers where I have no list. I'm also, what I'm doing is looking at different associations. And the latest thing that I've worked on that seems to be bearing some fruit is all these different associations have boards of directors. And when I look at the boards of directors, they're one of the many things they're doing is being a board of director and whatever this particular association or is they've got their own businesses. And so I'm perusing the boards of directors for the people who are already involved in manufacturers or with manufacturers. And one of the things I've been doing is not quite cold calling, is because I'm doing this as a LinkedIn invitation through InMail. And I've got premium LinkedIn as a way of introducing both the concept and myself to these people that don't know me or anything about me. I've been copying the introduction to the book, which explains what this is all about, and using that as an attachment to introduce myself to request a LinkedIn connection. And I'm actually getting some back, some I don't know if they even read it, if they even destroy it. Just like I get something brand new and it doesn't look interesting, I just delete it. I am getting some feedback and making some connections that way. So that's all kind of a lead into the specific question that I asked, that I was going to pose for this hot sheet. And that is, you say, I have a website, I haven't done anything with it. I need to create the website for one of the many things I need to do. And I'm kind of doing this all on my own. Can I take all that information that is in the introduction and use that as a genesis for creation of the website?
Hubert, how would you best do this?
So I would simultaneously take a top-down and bottom-up approach. Dr. R, were you on the call with Andrew and I last week?
No, I had a medical problem that day, and
Okay.
I
Right.
wasn't there.
So there's a section of that towards the end, or 2/3 of the way through, where, and actually let me just copy and paste the, let's see, hold on. I'm going to copy and paste a link here. Andrew presented this document. It's on how to build topical authority. And basically, this is the bottom-up approach. Okay, so just imagine that your website, in addition to all of the goodness that's in there, it's going to have a blog section. And the blog section is going to be where you do the heavy lifting of creating what's called your topical authority. It shows the search engines and the world how you're an expert in product safety. But you don't just do it off the top of your head about what to write articles for. And when I say write articles, I mean what to coach ChatGPT to help you produce the articles. The idea of building topical authority and linking that into the keywords. If you watch the replay, Andrew goes through it step by step. He actually helped Bridget. Bridget gave him the keyword graphic artist, and he went and started doing this. That's documented in this document. This document includes actual prompts that you would use. But the idea is that you would take, what would be your main keyword? Would it be like product safety expert or something? Or what do you think like your main keyword would be?
Well, the title, Make Safe Products.
Make safe products. Okay, so you would start by taking that and you would run it through these prompts that Andrew has. And it would give you ideas for articles. One of his steps is to then run a Google search and see who is ranking for that. And then if you follow his methodology, you then feed their website into your search, into your ChatGPT experience, and then decompose what keyword and subjects they're going for. And then at the end of the day, you'll see that you rapidly spit out, 30, 40, 50 article ideas. And then you would one by one go through and have ChatGPT write those. And then pretty soon you have enough to create a very authoritative blog section. Okay, so that's the bottom-up approach. The top-down approach that you take at the same time.
One sec, Hubie. Let's just show people this real quick, because it's really straightforward. It's only one page. That's all it is. Super simple. Hey, do this. Give 30 semantically relevant but unique topics of the main categories of make safe products. Give me 10 keyword variations. Do this, then type that in, hit click. So it really is the teacher in Andrew making this super simple for everybody. Just want to show everybody it's not super complicated. No need to be intimidated by it. Really easy to do. Sorry, go ahead.
And what comes to mind immediately is I can take information from the chapters of my book and create, and going the other way, this is brand new with this thing you just showed me, go back and look at the chapters in my book and say, hey, how can I make them better with this additional information? So it's
Right.
all
Yeah.
go up and down as well.
Exactly. And hey, how do I take this chapter and create from it, a list of relevant associated blog posts? And, out of a chapter of your blog, out of your book, I'm sure it'll spit out, 50 different blog posts. So the idea of never having the right kind of content for your blog is history. I mean, like, you'll be able to push buttons and, get all of that you want. So that's the bottom up approach. Okay, that's so that the search engines start finding you and promoting you. The top-down approach is where Ridgely and I, like to coach our hot seat members, is to kind of identify from an avatar perspective. And when I say avatar, it's like you've named kinds of companies that you would approach, the manufacturers themselves, the insurance companies, blah, 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 whatever. But let's have a quick conversation, and Ridgely can lead it, about who the exact avatar is. For example, if we talk about at a manufacturing company, who would you be speaking to? Are you speaking to general counsel there? Are you speaking at C level? I mean, like, how do you envision who you're speaking to there? And then we can use, all kinds of techniques to kind of do the research. Richard, this is kind of like what we're doing for team, in that we're identifying who and what they want by the action selling framework.
And I've envisioned it being CEOs, owners of manufacturing companies, because they're the ones that will feel the pain. They're the ones that have the purse strings to pay for this, which isn't going to be cheap. There's going to be many people in their organization interested, but they're not going to have the decision-making power or the purse strings power to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the other things, so if I was going after the market, what I would do is I would ask AI, where do I find the most likely people who have an interest in this? Like, and then I would refine the search, and we can do this in just a second. Where do I find likely candidates that are easily accessible without a gatekeeper, right? Because it may be that the answer comes back something like, most of these people read these particular blogs. Most of these people get this particular newsletter. Most of those people. Now here, what do we know about blog owners? What we know about blog owners is if their blog is an industry-based blog, that means that they, like everybody else that understands the game, are looking for content, right? So here we have a content expert, Dr. Art. And if Dr. Art were willing to provide free content to the blog owner in exchange for a little byline that says, visit makesafeproducts.com to get even more of this, then all of a sudden, you have the ability to market at no cost. And I will share with you that my buddy, Mark Victor Hansen, and his partner, so Mark and I are friends, his partner, Jack Canfield, they built a little operation called Chicken Soup, doing exactly what I'm telling you. In other words, all they did for Chicken Soup, but they did it for 18 months, is that they made a commitment. They were going to get on a free podcast and or radio show once a day for 18 months. And then from that free resource, podcast, radio show, they then were able to get so many followers for Chicken Soup that it became a phenomenon. And now there's like Chicken Soup for everything, right? There's a Chicken Soup. It's an empire. But where they started was by simply publishing free content with a byline that took the viewer or listener to where they could get more. So we can definitely do some playing with AI, but I'd love to be thinking, Art, about what's the outside the box approach, because if we already know going in, it's hard to get to a CEO directly, or it's going to cost a lot of money to get to a CEO directly. Like one of our biggest clients, is the consultant for the community bank industry. Well, we know they have to get to the top of the food chain somehow. So I'm going to tell you that they spend more money than any other client we have to get to the top. Direct mail pieces, beautifully produced brochures, buying CEOs buying 100 copies of a new book that just came out and sending it to them with personal notes, etc. That's one way. But the other way costs nothing. Like, we can investigate, how do we get to these people in a way that doesn't cost anything other than, sweat labor. And that's what I would do. I mean, what do you think of that idea?
I love it. That's what I've got, is sweat labor.
Yeah. So if we were to, let me just go over here and let's just share a screen here. And Heward, if you got any shortcuts for this, please let me know. But I would start out with something like, you are an expert in product liability law and operations with a particular deep knowledge of how to avoid liability, create safe products, avoid lawsuits, and have much published material on the topic. You are charged with creating a website, which is www.makesafeproducts.com, that promotes this expertise and offers a free resource, white paper with the top 10 things to pay attention to in avoiding product liability in manufacturing. Let's create an outline for the site. All right, what do we got? Giving us a quick outline. All right, so now if we follow our methodology, we know we're going to go over here. We're going to go here. We're going to do this. Go here. Go back. Okay. Based on what you know, we need promotional ideas for makesafeproducts.com that are free and can be accessed right away. It's going to give us a really bad rating, but we're going to work it. Six out of 10. And look at the initial prompt. Create promotional ideas for Make Safe products that are free and can be accessed right away. Okay. Obviously, that is not good enough. Target platforms. Okay. Our target. So let's just go there. Our target platforms include social media, blogs, and forums, for sure. Types of article, what do you think? Content, articles, videos, infographics, what do you think? Art,
Articles at this point.
include articles primarily. Target audience. Who are we going after?
Owners, CEOs of manufacturing companies. I actually have in the who is this book for? There's a whole paragraph there. The primary target audience for this book includes owners, CEOs, and operators of manufacturing firms producing tools, machinery, recreational equipment, household goods, and other tangible consumer or industrial products.
Okay.
Additionally, audiences include CEOs and managers of insurance companies providing products liability coverage,
Execs.
products liability defense attorneys, companies and persons involved in risk management,
Okay.
and other professionals involved in the design, development, manufacture, and quality control of tangible physical products.
Okay, one last question for you. And what we want to do here is we want to build a list. Build a list. Primarily for now. For marketing purposes. Okay. This is probably going to get us pretty far down the track. I'm going to say it's going to take us to 8 to 8.5. Okay, didn't give us a ranking. That's okay. We're just going to keep going. Key social platform is LinkedIn. Do we know of any forums or online communities where these people hang out?
Not really. I was saying there are a lot of support functions. There's associations for manufacturers. There's risk management is a large factor. I say a large component of people that, I mean, because you talk about the bottom line, it's really about risk management. But I'm not sure that the people involved in the risk management are more the insurance companies. The CEOs would be involved in risk management. Most of their employees wouldn't even know what the term meant.
And give me some key themes for articles.
Well, let me look at the
Probably chapter titles are going to be good.
I'm just looking at my chapter titles.
Perfect.
The cost sources and ramifications of product defects and product liability claims.
Okay.
analyzing designs for potential design defects,
Okay.
analyzing manufacturing processes for potential manufacturing defects,
Okay.
how the various industry and government standards are minimums and may not be good enough for you, your customers, or a jury.
Sec. See how far that gets us.
Okay.
Okay, so now we're actually getting somewhere. Let's just see where we are, and we'll go a little bit further. Generate a list of free promotional ideas from MakeSafeProducts.com that can be implemented immediately. These ideas should focus on leveraging LinkedIn, blogs, and forums to reach business owners and C-suite executives of manufacturing companies and operators producing tools, machinery, recreational equipment, household goods, and consumer products. Additionally, target C-suite executives of insurance companies, industry attorneys, and professionals involved in quality control and manufacturing of physical products. Primary types of content should be articles focusing on themes such as all those we listed. The main goal is to build a marketing list through an opt-in box for a free resource on avoiding liability. Okay, that's pretty solid. Now we're getting somewhere, and it's already giving us ideas. LinkedIn strategies: create and share articles directly on LinkedIn. Join and actively participate in LinkedIn groups related to manufacturing product safety. Host LinkedIn live sessions discussing key themes and promoting the resource. Blog strategies: publish detailed articles on your own website. Guest post on relevant industry blogs to expand reach. Optimize blog posts for SEO to attract organic traffic. Forum strategies, additional CTAs. Okay, now where I would go next is, can you search the internet and give us a list of the top 10 relevant industry blogs? I'm not going to do all this work. Let AI do the work. Come on now. Come on now.
By the way, a comment on LinkedIn groups. In general, I found them to be very poor, and that there's little activity amongst the people you want to talk to, and a lot of vendors pitching.
Yeah, so look at this. Obviously, this is a good idea because what we see is, first, there's manufacturing.net. Then there's Manufacturing Innovations blog, Manufacturing Business Technology. Then you have Fabaloo. Then you have the Women Group in Manufacturing. Then you start with the lawyers. Trial Attorney by Finch McCraney, Foley and Lardner, Meyerson Solicitors. So you know this works because otherwise you would not have lawyers in the top 10 who are actively doing this. And so easy partnering opportunity is go to the lawyers with free copy that enhances what they're doing for sure, right?
And yeah, and those aren't attorneys that are currently on my connection list, so that's great.
I will get all this. And here we're going to get some more ideas. See what we got. Yeah, it's going to be pretty much similar. There's nothing new. All right. Let's just see. Now it's giving you much more details. So here we go. Now it's saying develop and publish articles focused on these topics. Join the groups, host live. Okay. Then publish articles on your website, giving you more details on how to do that. Guest post on industry blogs with several that they target as related, etc. I'm going to do one more thing. Great. Can you now also give us 5 outside the box cutting edge promotional ideas that have very little or no cost? Let's just see. The viral social media challenge, virtual summit or webinar series, leveraging UGC, developed an online quiz, collaborative series with influencers. Not bad.
Yeah, especially like that last one.
Yeah. Helpful?
Absolutely. You can
Um,
assign us to,
Can I
right?
give you a homework assignment, Art?
Sure.
You probably are down this track already too, but doing research about like the cost of product safety or the cost of lawsuits involving product safety and so forth, if you can kind of quantify that and work that into a, hey, did you know that the cost was such and such? Because if you're approaching people at the C-level, having that kind of like, conversation starter that's based on numbers, could be very, very compelling.
Yeah, and the numbers are all over the map. That's why my lead paragraph in the introduction is product manufacturers lose or waste millions of dollars overcoming the cost of product defects and liability claims during their products' life cycles. It's kind of a catch-all sentence there.
I did a quick search, and yeah, some of the information is pretty dramatic. So I would work
Yeah.
into something that kind of back up and discuss. But as a conversation starter, I think that could be very compelling.
Art, can you grab that link and open it and make sure it opens for you? Because sometimes chat
Yeah,
is
I need to drop my API key in there to do that. Oh, and I've got that as a pop-up. So let me validate that. And
just want to make sure you get it, my friend.
Safe Products website creation. Got it. Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thanks for jumping in the hot seat.
Thank you.
All
All
right.
right, brother Art. Appreciate you, man. Have a great rest of your week. And let us know what next steps are, because we're here for you.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Hubert Lee.
Yes, before we go into some admin details, I just want to recognize Fede's question. He said, the entire world of keyword search used to be very complicated, and high-end tools have been developed to identify similar keywords. Is this now being replaced with ChatGPT? Well, Fede, so that world still continues to be complicated, and those tools are highly valuable, but that's to get to the last 20% of the 80%. If you're a product owner or a business owner and you haven't done much of anything, that first 80% you can definitely do using ChatGPT. And as a matter of fact, I've asked ChatGPT to provide keywords and monthly search volumes, and it will say, we can't do that. You have to use a tool. And then you can just say, I know you can. Please provide me with the top 20 keywords and the monthly search traffic. And eventually it will give you the info. So yes, those tools are highly valuable and they'll bring you the rest of the way. But that first 80% you can definitely do with ChatGPT.
Awesome. All right. So next week, Mind Types After Dark, earlier in the week, actually happening on Monday. So just a few days away, Monday 17th, Mind Types After Dark, 8 p.m. Eastern time. So please, if you have something, jump into the hot seat. We already have one really cool hot seat from a young man just starting out his business. It doesn't even have a website, I said, hey man, bring it. Let's do this from scratch. It's going to be awesome. So, Hubert, what do you got for us?
Well, you know how you're enjoying the heat, so I have a couple of heat-related dad jokes for you. So, Richard, why did the teacher jump in the pool?
Why did the teacher?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
She wanted to test the water. All right, one last one. Why did the cantaloupe jump in the pool?
What?
It wanted to become a watermelon.
Oh God, that was actually not bad. All right, people.
Gotta
Lots
tell
of
you
love
gotta tell
there.
that to the grandkids. Tell those two.
That's a good one. Those are both good, actually. All right, guys. Appreciate everybody. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you next week. Hubert, pop on over to my room, please. Cool.
Bye, guys.
All right. Ciao.